Today, we want to give you a quick insight into the diagnostic and repair possibilities with a brand new CarTrain diagnosis and maintenance of high voltage vehicle. In other videos, we have spoken about the whole functionality, about what you see here. So today, let's focus on the real components, but especially on the diagnostic side. So on the one side, we see here all the different real components from the vehicle. Either it's an AC cable, it's a drive cable to the electric motor, the high voltage battery cable, or the different types of service disconnects or emergency disconnects. But today, Daniel, and this is why we have this guy over here, we want to see how can we use this with focus on diagnosis and repair.
Absolutely. So this is what we call our project case. So the project case comes with the CarTrain. It's not an optional extra. It comes as standard part of the scope of delivery. And you can see here a number of different components. So starting over this side here, we've got our DC link cable. So this is the battery coming from our battery through to the inverter. And here we have faults built in, for example. So we have here, these are connected to projects within the RXLea. And here, for example, we would have a fault, a customer complaint such as an animal bite or animal's been chewing on the cables, including visual inspection onto that cable. We've got this one here, which is our AC side. So obviously with the 3 cables, that's got a shielding fault within there that causes electromagnetic interference to our radio. You can see here our potential equalization cable. So we've got a faulty cable in here as well, which causes some issues during the measurement. AC cable, not going to give away all of the secrets, but there's also faults within that allow the system doesn't function. We have a blown fuse that can be placed in place of any of the 3 other fuses for the heating, the air conditioning, or the DC to DC converter, causing a fault within them. We also have a smart key, spare smart key. See here also the tools are included. So this is a real high voltage screwdriver. So no need to purchase new equipment either. And we also have these measuring adapters that allow us, so if we're doing measurements, obviously within the high voltage system, technically, well, not technically, you're just not allowed to take measurements of the system while it's running, or it's certainly not good practice to measure on the terminals within the connectors there. So we've created these measurement adapters that allow you to connect onto the CarTrain and take the measurements within that. So very important for when you're doing, so for example, insulation faults within the battery or the inverter, you can use that one on the DC side. On this one here, insulation faults within the motor, or even doing the motor winding faults, so using milliohm meter to check for windings. So that's this side of the project case. If I spin it around, we have a completely other side as well. So this is our relays. Now I have one is built onto the CarTrain right now, but this is the various generations of pre-charge assemblies that we have. So pre-charge resistor. So right here, I don't have any pre-charge resistor, but you can see on this one here, we've got a pre-charge resistor right there, and on this one here as well. You can just see the difference is the way they're connected. So this side is the negative, this side is the positive. This one doesn't have any pre-charge whatsoever. So these are the 3 different types that are available and can only be available. And these here can also be built in to simulate different types of vehicle manufacturers. Now, the reason we have 2 of each is we're able to switch faults on. So I showed in a previous video, you can see that there's faults that can be switched on, allowing the students then to remove these and take measurements. So for example, here we've got 2 relays, so we can measure that. If we have a look at this one, we have 3 relays in here, so I can measure the resistance of the coils, but I can also measure the continuity from input to output. So I can measure that to see which fault it is, and then you can come back to your teacher. So this was the one that's built in the CarTrain. We flip the switch on. The faults stay inside the system here, even though it's been removed with a special memory circuit that we've developed. And the teacher would ask, the student would ask the teacher for a new relay assembly. They come along, ask for the spare part number, get given this, add that to the CarTrain, and then the system will be operational again. So that's wrapping up the project case that we have and how it works in conjunction with the CarTrain.
Thank you very much, Daniel, for this quick wrap up for the diagnosis and the maintenance with the CarTrain. So all this goes hand in hand with our project-based, skill-based learning environment RXLea, which you will see in another video. So far, if you want to get more information on the CarTrain or quote, get in touch with us via email, which you see on the next page. Have a good one and see you soon.